In these days, these Gen Zs are always ghosting. Yeah, he was like, "Are you interested in acting?" I was like, "Yes, I am interested in acting." I'll say one thing in Malayalam and then I'll repeat it in English. That's like a signature thing I do.
Slight disclaimer, this interview may or may not be haunted because sitting with me right here is the cutest, chaotic and confidently delusional Gen Z ghost, Ria Shibu from Sarvam Maya.
Confidently delusional is the best thing I've heard. I am confidently delusional, that's very true.
Your character in Sarvam Maya isn't just a normal ghost. She's like romanticizing life, she overthinks, she's delusional. So how is it like to play a ghost like that?
I think Delulu is literally just every girl, right? And I think that's the fact that's why everybody can relate to her. And even if you are not, literally her, like the same age, you can relate to her in some other way as a person of your own, a person from your own home, like your daughter or, That's why some of the audience, when they approach me, they find it very personal. They find Delulu very personal. So they keep her close to the heart, and I think that very factor is what makes Delulu so, very real. And you forget the fact that she's a ghost.
Yeah, definitely.
So it was Akhil Sathyan's idea to present her like that. She's like, the concept is just a ghost, but you're just very real. And padam kandadalle. Okay. So and the very element of her being so excited for life is really tied up to the ending because when she dies with hope. She's like, ഞാനെന്നാ സംസാരിച്ച് നോക്കിയാൽ ശരിയാവുമായിരിക്കും. She really is with the hope like ശരിയാവുമായിരിക്കും, സംസാരിച്ചാൽ മതി. And it just happens. And when I started talking about this is when I remembered something very interesting. So I've heard this concept that like spirits people who die really unexpectedly, their spirits still exist and it's just confused. They're just confused.
They linger on in.
They linger on because they're confused that they don't know that they're dead. So I've heard of this and I've read like interesting concepts about this. So before doing Delulu, I was really interested in these concepts. So I used to read about this, and there was I've just read about it. So I can't say that it's real or anything, but a person who died in an accident, their spirit was really confused for a while, and they found, I don't know if it's a he or she found their way to a priest, not priest, like a nambudiri polathe oral, and they helped him. So I've heard it somewhere, it's just like a faint memory, so I'm not sure if it's true. So then I was like, Delulu in a way is like that because she didn't expect to die. So in the beginning she comes and says, I don't mean to scare you, but I think I'm a ghost. So she itself can't she's not even ready to process if she's a ghost. So that's the whole approach to Delulu, and we really can connect it when you see the past of how it happened for her. And so the very fact that she doesn't know she's a ghost is what makes her character so like excited to live. And it's like, Prabhendu, you are alive, so like do the best out of it. Why fight with your dad, right? Why like keep all that? Why be shy away from love? Like live. So she motivates him to live when he was so depressed.
Yeah, she being a ghost, I think motivates him, has more life in her than the living person.
Yeah, she didn't want to die, right? And she died really young. So that's a really sad thing to think about while doing the emotional scene. That is something that I really thought about, and that thought really made me grateful for my life. I was like, I'm alive in this moment. I need to, like, the Maya, the character itself, it helped me personally in a lot of ways. Even the like simple dialogues that Delulu says, I'm like, I need to apply this in my life.
Yeah, because that movie felt like therapy for me also.
Yeah,
seriously,
people said
the
that.
dialogues, some of the anecdotes or whatever, the small snippets, things that you say, things that also Sadhya, the character that Preeti has done, she says, everything feels like some sort of an advice that we all could like follow in our own lives.
Exactly. How Sadhya talks about her breakup and how it like
moving on.
How it is moving on, and you don't have to keep it so personal. And that is something to take away from. And it's all like Akhil Sathyan's writing. See, he is the heart and soul of the film. and the way he presented the character is really what makes the film so special. Like every character plays a really, you know, like we can connect it so personally, because let's say you take Prabhendu, he portrays depression, and Delulu is portraying the joy and excitement of life, and Sadhya is like, you know, a closure. So these characters, they're all personal in a way, and Akhil Sathyan really wrote them in a way that you don't miss out on any character. So that's what makes the film therapy. And all credits, you know, to him and the technical team, through the music evoking that emotion, and the stills, and not the stills, sorry, the frames, right, of Sharan Chatan portraying it. So really the technical team held it so tight. Justin Prabhakaran, Anna's musics, and Anil Radhakrishnan, he is the one who did the sync sound. Everybody, you know, spoke about how the sound is so good, and they said my voice is really good, and it's sync sound. So all the dialogues that I said there, it was on spot.
Oh, that's great. That was amazing. The sound quality, the music, everything. It just tied the whole film together.
Yeah, exactly.
Does it all feel like a Delulu now?
It does. It really does. Like the feeling right now is insanely Delulu, because once I watched the film is when I realized, okay, the shoot is over and I'm not going to go back there and see them. So that really hit. And then at the same time, I'm getting like great audience reception. Not just me, like the whole team, right? Everybody is getting great reception, like in their own way. Like now Pudumara is out, and Shakti Shri Gopal, she is the one. She's already, all of us know her for like her amazing vocals. So her vocals is being like praised for the film, and Justin Prabhakaran, his music, and everything. It's like this film has, you know, it's brought so much positivity to the whole team and the audience. Because like some people are saying that they found closure through the film, or they people had realizations. Like you yourself is telling me that like these are some things that I'll take away in my life. So the film as a whole is just a lot of goodness and a lot of positivity.
So we did go to the theaters and catch a little bit of audience reviews. So we did a small video based on that as well. So everybody said, the common thing that most people said was that we all left the theaters with a very, you know, the hearts feeling full, and you know, so much of happy feeling. So same thing happened to me, because when I watched the movie and I came out of theater, the first thing I turned around and told my friend was that my heart feels really like full and happy. So that is something that is a takeaway from the film. You know, everybody who's going out of the theater will go with a smile on their faces.
That's what I've been hearing, and I can really understand, you know, how they feel. Playing Maya itself, I was feeling, you know, empathetic. I'm very close to her, but the only thing that's different between me and Delulu is that Delulu is not alive.
That is the only difference.
That's the only difference.
You're exactly like how your character is.
Exactly. I'm very similar. So, but then still, Akhil Sathyan's, it's all of his dialogue. So, the core of Delulu is actually him. Because as I was playing the character, after a few shoot days, I went up to him and was like, isn't Delulu actually you? Like she sounds a lot like you. This is exactly how you speak. Because the more I spend time with him, he responds exactly like that. Like, so when we're sitting and I say something, he says exactly. Simple.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, did you get it from me, or is that how you are? And then he's like, no, I got it from you. I was like, no, that's how you are. But then in a lot of ways, I felt like me and him, we were similar in a lot of ways. Like, so the things that, you know, we react to and the things that we laugh at, it's very similar. So I used to tell him we're so similar, and our birthdays are very close. I'm on 25th September, he's 26th. So I was like, that's why. That's definitely why.
That's probably why.
Yeah. So like, you know, in a lot of ways, since we were similar, we were able to connect very easily as actors and directors, and also like there's a lot of comfort on set. So I didn't feel like I was going and working there whenever I had to ask something, or whenever I was genuinely feeling something or genuinely feeling some doubt, I could just talk to him like I talk to a brother.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'll be like that. And then it's like, Ria, this thing you have, so like you apply that. He'll tell me this, and he'll, you know, he knows how to treat an artist, and like
so he made it very easy for you.
Yeah,
basically.
he makes it very easy for us.
Yeah. So how did Maya happen?
Maya happen.
How did this happen? How did I
Sarvam get
Maya
casted?
Happen? Yeah.
Oh wow, that എന്താന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ Red FM I did one interview and for Mura, and that was on my reels lit too. And പെട്ടെന്ന് scroll ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നപ്പോൾ he came across this reel where I'm talking. And he's like, okay, Kochu Delulu, she seems to match the character so well, the way that I'm talking. But I'm very serious in that. I'm not like, I'm talking like this, but I'm a little more serious in that. And he's like, no, she seems to match. And he called my dad, and he's like, I like the way your daughter's talking. Can I approach her for a film? He's like, yeah, she's very interested. Talk to her. And then he got on call with me. And then he's on call, and he's like, do you want to act? He didn't even finish this. I was like, yes, I want to.
He didn't say anything else. Just the question.
Yeah, he was like, are you interested in acting? I was like, yes, I am interested in acting. Because also I watched this film, Pachum Albudu Ulkum. I watched it like twice. Yeah. I really like that film. I really enjoy that film too. So he was like, have you watched? If you haven't watched also, you don't have to tell me you watched. I was like, what are you saying? I watched Pachum. Like literally I was. So I was really excited. And then when he told me like the idea of this itself, I started laughing a lot. So when he started talking, I started laughing a lot. I don't know if it's about his tone or something. I just start laughing all the time. He's so funny. So he told me, he started narrating to me like this. He's like, so we have a premium Nambudiri. I was like, what is premium Nambudiri? Nobody talks like this. I was like premium Nambudiri? Avarku BMW undu. I was like, oh, okay. So you're saying the rich. I was like, oh, okay, adipudi. I was like, this premium Nambudiri or atheist Nambudiri. I was like, Atheist Namburi, what are you saying? So, I started laughing. I was like, this is so funny. Can you please tell me more? Then, Adim Delulu ne patti parnju thodanga. I was like, Allah. Idu parnja. I started asking so much like more and more, and he just narrated the full story. Instead of telling me about Delulu, he was like, okay, I'll tell you the full story. And then last I got very emotional. I was like, really, this happens? Oh my God. Like, I got lost. I was lost and I forgot about the character. I was like lost in the script. I was so connected. I was so into it. Appa, I was like, this is too good. I'll do whatever. Like, in the audition, I'm so in. And I was very interested from the beginning. But in audition, he immediately called me. Like in 20 minutes of sending the audition, he's like, okay, let's meet. I was like, this is a great sign. So I was so happy. Meet we were talking about random things, and he was asking me, IQ like random questions. And the thing is, ingante questions video edukum. And then I was like, okay, chumma chill later nammude friends the video edukkollu. So adevole video eduthennu vicharichu. Pinna veetti pogumbozhana he's like, this was your look test. I was like, oh, so us eating lunch is the look test. And I was like, okay, that's crazy. I like it. Appo endanu vecha njan ipo samsarikkunna reethi undallo. He's like, oh, we should add that. I like it. Simple. Enikishtai.
Oh yeah, that's there in the movie.
Exactly. So njan edakku samsarikkan I'll be like, I like it. Enikishtai. So I'll say one thing in Malayalam and then I'll repeat it in English. That's like a signature thing I do.
Oh, and then he wanted to incorporate that into your...
So initially he had like a different script. He was like, ഒരു വേറൊരു പാറ്റേൺ ആയിരുന്നു സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റിന്. And after he met me, he felt like Delulu matched with me, and it really like matched the vision that he had. And even Sathyan sir is like, idana Delulu. Idana nammude Delulu. So with that, with the way I talked, he changed a lot in the script. So that's why more and more I read the script, I was like, this is so me. And then he would call me, he's like, inganthe oru situation ee aal ingana paranja Riya endu parayum. And then we'll go into a conversation, and then we'll just sidetrack into like, are you scared of ghosts and all?
Are you?
I am scared.
You are scared of ghosts.
Yeah, I'm scared
to get ghosts.
പക്ഷേ the thing is, like, ഇപ്പോൾ സിനിമയിൽ കാണിക്കുന്ന പ്രേതം, like there is also Sarvam Maya പ്രേതം, and then there is like Conjuring പ്രേതം. So Conjuring പ്രേതം of course പേടിയാണ്. പക്ഷേ like ഞാനിപ്പോൾ റിയലിസ്റ്റിക്കലി കഥ കേൾക്കുമ്പോൾ I've heard about like Sarvam Maya type പ്രേതം കഥ. Means like literally
friendly ghosts.
Friendly ghost ഇതിൽ കാസ്പറിനെ പോലെയാണ് പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. അങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞാൽ പക്ഷേ I've not heard it like exactly like this, but I've heard like you know how beginning of the interview I told you about that spirit story, right? So I've heard like that, where like some people who are really spiritual and really connected, they can another spirit can connect. So like Nambudiri, Nambudiris are very spiritual, and the Delulu was able to easily connect to a spiritual person. That concept, like, since I have read a few about this and I'm very interested in this concept, that way I believe, like, because there's more to this world, more than what you can touch, hear and see. So like, we've only discovered what 2% of the ocean. So there's definitely more in this world.
True.
But that way I believe in it, and maybe if I experience it at the beginning, I'll be like,
but then you would also want to have a Sarvam Maya type of ghost, not a conjuring type of ghost.
If I had a like Sarvam Maya ghost friend, I would want a Delulu. But then again, I also don't want it because I'd miss her. I would want my friend to be with me. I don't want my friend to like vanish.
Moksha kittandannale.
Yeah, but that's selfish, right?
Yeah, that's also selfish.
So like my friends are my Delulus. I can go to them.
Yeah.
And
some friends are like ghosts, no? So it's fine.
They ghost me. maybe in that way I am the perfect Delulu.
Oh, guilty as charged.
Yeah, so in these days, these Gen Zs are always ghosting.
Gen Z thanne idu parayanam. Oops. You broke this usual cliche by getting into movies, by becoming a producer first and then later an actor, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Only me?
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people usually do that. I mean, you come from a family who's associated with movies.
Oh, okay.
So the easiest way for you was to just start acting whenever you wanted to. But then you first got into producing movies and then later into acting. What prompted you to take that route?
Production is like, I college I was doing a film course, and getting an opportunity so close to you to understand film from a business perspective and from a really practical point of view, it's definitely something that I will take up, because film course this is the best practical experience I can get to apply into my course. So it started like that, and I was also very curious. So that's how production started. It was not like production cheying and acting cheying, so that's the plan. No, everything happened just like that. Everything happened. This life just took me. Like, this is happening. You come. It was like that. So production started out of that curiosity, and I just joined my dad, and I'm learning. So it was not like I was curious and suddenly I'm the producer. Yeah. No. So I'm curious. I started asking questions. He's like, you come sit with me in the office. Appa, I'll sit with him for the discussions. And then my dad will take my opinions. So if I suggest something, he'll really take it. He'll be like, okay, that's good. We should apply that. In the marketing involved, because I was like, okay, I have a few ideas. And then I presented it. So I got involved, and I'm still learning. It was not like, I think there's more to learn. I think being an executive producer will give me a more like experience on getting into production. I think I need to learn a little bit on that level and a little more. And even as an actor, it really helps, because or knowledge when you go into acting, that helps you like contribute and like cooperate with the team also. And so during shooting, you get to see you're there in set every day, so you get to see and then there'll be an executive producer sitting with you or the producer sitting with you, so you get to be around that conversation, discussions, and through that you learn, and you understand that with each varied script and each different type of script, the production approach is different. So like, it's a learning stage, and since production involves money, I think that's something that I would like, if I were to take it up single-handedly, I will take it up a little later.
So how different is producer Ria and actor Ria?
Actor Ria has more energy.
Producer Ria doesn't have energy?
Has energy, but like, I think you're more like behind the camera, and you're more involved in like discussions and like business. And I am a little more of a creative person, and I think I need to put my creative energy out there, because it feels like, okay, there's a lot of energy, what do I do with it? So, the acting really complements that, because I can put this energy here, because it requires a lot of energy and requires a lot of balancing the energy, and there's a lot to learn in acting as well, right? So I'm very excited for that, and I'm interested in direction, stories, storytelling and all. So that's the area I want to explore first.
Next.
And yeah, because through this you learn a lot of production too. And then when I get a little more confidence, I'll be able to do production.
Also, that's you're not venturing into production anytime soon now, focusing on acting and directing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So we can expect a directorial debut from you soon?
That won't be like tomorrow. Directorial also will take time because I want to like be able to have my free space, develop my story, take some time.
Do you have anything?
Have a clarity.
You have like thoughts that I want to do this kind of a story, make this kind of movies. Do you have something like that in mind?
Since my creative energies also can be really extremely expanded, there's like, oh, I want to do this, no, I want to do that, no, actually this story. So angana kore ideas undu. So like I'm waiting for one idea to eventually settle down. And yeah, so the thing is like എപ്പോഴും വീട്ടിൽ നടക്കുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഇസ് ഓൾവേസ് സോ ഫണി ആൻഡ് ഐ ഓൾവേസ് സേ ലൈക്ക് ഓ ഇത് സിനിമയിലെ സീനായിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ സോ അങ്ങനെ വെറുതെ ഇങ്ങനെ കണ്ട് സംടൈംസ് വെൻ ഐ സീ എ ഫണി സീൻ ഞാൻ ചുമ്മാ എഴുതി വയ്ക്കും സിനിമയിലെ സീനാണെങ്കിൽ. And eventually that writing process is so free and creative, so you can just do like it's your canvas to paint in, so you can create it in your own way, you can have your own story, but then to an extent people should understand it, that's all. Time travel, fantasy, all those concepts is very interesting for me. And like time travel with rom-com and something funny, like
that'd be good.
Time
travel with rom-com.
Yeah, so I've read this story. It's a very famous book. In that Before the Coffee Gets Cold.
Yeah, I know.
It's so nice. So I was like, wow, I would love to make this a film.
Yeah.
And I would also love to act in it. So I was like, inganatha kore ideas I have. But it's like all like rough. It's all just there. It's like floating in space. It'll eventually settle down. And I know there'll be one point I'm like, oh, I'm so ready to do this. Maybe at that point. So it's there, but right now I have so much of energy to act.
Yeah.
And I would love to put that energy out there with like the right script, the right team. Ipo Sarvam Maya, the team is so great, and like I would love to go back to that set any day. So Angana, I would love to work with more teams.
So about Nivin. So you probably watched him when you were growing up, no?
Yeah.
Premam and all might have released when you were like what, 11, 12?
No, I was at least 14, 13.
Yeah. So growing up, like watched his films and grown up. Now when you went to the set and met him, there was a lot of BTS, fun BTS, Gen Z, Gen Y and all that. So how was the banter, both of you, the interaction and everything?
Initially it was a little formal because like I'm like, oh star, I should give him the space. Thing is, njan samsarichu thodangiyal it will go on. So it's like, wait, I need to give him the space. So first few days and all ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു. പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ ഫസ്റ്റ് സീൻ ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ തന്നെ ചിരി പൊട്ടി. So it's like vibe set ആണ്. And then also still we took some time, and then ചിരി പൊട്ടി തുടങ്ങിയപ്പോൾ actually in each scene like it'll go on, like നമ്മൾ ഒരു ഡയലോഗ് കഴിഞ്ഞ് counter it'll go on. At one point somebody will mess up and നമ്മൾ ചിരിക്കും. അപ്പോൾ ചിരിച്ചാൽ പിന്നെ നമ്മളിങ്ങനെ അഖിൽ ചേട്ടനെ നോക്കിയിട്ട് അഖിൽ ചേട്ടാ പോയി അപ്പോൾ ഇറ്റ്സ് ലൈക്ക് ഓക്കെ റിലാക്സ് ഓക്കെ ക്ലാപ്പ് മാറ്റപ്പോൾ ചിരിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങും. So it's like that. So that's the relationship that has happened. And then ആ ചിരി, so when you share a laughter with somebody, you start getting really comfortable with them. And then you go into the state where you're really comfortable and you just start like there's this whole lot of banter. And because of that sharing of laughter, there was a good friendship that was, that we were able to build. So, and another way is like, I used to teach him Gen Z terms. So that's like something, that's something we built up. And I was like, I'll be like, do you like to dance? There's this new trend. Let's try dancing. Chuma, it'll be very spontaneous. And then I don't know.
He plays along for all of this?
Sometimes. Yeah. So when I used to say that in the beginning, I used to not know whether he'll cooperate. So I'm like, did I like mess up here? Like, did I talk too much? But then he'll be like, yeah, I want to. I'm like, wait, you're matching my vibe. So then, like sometimes we'll do something and we start dancing. And I was teaching him, I thought of like throwing Gen Z words and see if he understands. So we'll have a little banter there where I'm like, you're very Sigma. He's like, what is that? And then I'm like, you're very serious. He's like, no, I'm not serious. Like he was very offended. He's like, I'm not serious. I'm not a serious person. And I was like, then why are you being serious? He's like, And then he'll smile. I was like, okay, you're Pooky. Do you like that? He's like, what's that? It means like you're very nice, very cute. And it's like, oh, I like that. Pooky is nice.
Pooky is
I was like,
nice.
oh, okay, that's style. So he likes to cooperate with this. He likes to learn this. And then he'll tell me that he learned something from his kids. So he will learn from me so he can go and tell his kids.
Oh, they're probably a Gen Beta, Alpha.
They're Gen Alpha, yeah, they're Gen Alpha. So I don't know. I think he would have learned from me and used it on his kids. I'm not sure. Probably. And this moment in Pudumara, that was a moment where we were sitting and waiting for the shot to be ready, and I was just teaching him this. I was showing random things. He's like, I was like, you have to tell me what this is. He's like, it means thank you. I was like, it's not thank you. It means. So I started laughing, and Akhil Sathyan saw that. He started laughing. I was like, it means love. And then Akhil Sathyan laughed, and he loved that so much. He's like, we need to take this. He's like, let's put this. Let's make this a scene. And I was like, okay, I'll teach you. You say thank you. Everybody laugh.
Yeah, we did actually. There's a lot of places that had the whole Gen Z, Gen Y interaction. Theatre was bursting with laughter. Great.
Yeah. So like those moments are fun, and from there I was like, okay, he actually likes to like talk and just laugh. He's just very chill. He really just likes to make jokes. First I was like, oh, do I talk about serious things? Like, but I'm not a serious person. What do I do? So then when I cracked this, I was like, okay. He sounds serious. I like it. So then I was like, nice vibes at it. So even if there's an emotional scene, he'll try not to laugh. But then, Karachilla, sometimes you're mute. So one point I was like, I'm like crying. And then I was like, and then he's like, he looked at me like this. He tried not to, because like I have to be emotional, right? And I saw that I started laughing. And then our makeup artist, Saji Chatan, he is so funny, but he doesn't try to be funny. He was like, he came with the tissue, he's like, he's like, Nallonam cheetikku. I was like, how embarrassing is this? Ayyo. And he lost it. He's like, Ini Battula. Yeah. I was like, ayyo. ഞാൻ ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ ഇരിക്കുമ്പോൾ എല്ലാം I was like, okay, നല്ല ഇമോഷണൽ ആണ്, നമുക്ക് ചെയ്യാം.
Impress ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ
I was like, oh, നല്ല ഇമോഷണൽ ആവാം. And then I lost it. And then I just like, relax. And then we redid it. So, അങ്ങനത്തെ moments. So, and like, through these kutti moments you build, and then I have this habit of going and punching, like, chumma. I won't actually punch, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna box right now, you have to guard and stuff. And then I said, ഞാൻ നിവിൻ ചേട്ടനെ ഇങ്ങനെ അടിക്കും. അപ്പം നിവിൻ ചേട്ടൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? His response is like, ഞാനപ്പോൾ പഴംപൊഴി തിന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയായിരിക്കും. What? So like,
typical millennial responses are.
It's so funny. Like, you never expect what he's gonna say, so he says something really funny.
What do you do if I hit you? എന്റെ കൈ മാങ്ങ പറിക്കാൻ പോയല്ലോ.
He's like, ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെ അടിച്ചിട്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ വന്നാ നിവിൻ ചേട്ടൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? പഴംപൊരി തിന്നും.
What can you tell us about your upcoming projects? I know you're doing Adiradi right
I think I should save some things to say for Adiradi promotion, because I think I would have said enough. But I am.
Don't worry, we'll do an Adiradi promotion as well.
Appa sheri anna sheri. Adiradi, like I am in Adiradi right now. The shoot നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക, and it's a different character.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
അതാ.
Okay, ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മുടെ സമയം തീർന്നു. Our time is up. She's been showing കുറച്ച് നേരം. I had so much fun talking to you, seriously.
Me too.
It was like just a conversation.
Just a conversation, right?
Two people, two friends. അങ്ങനെ തോന്നി എനിക്ക്.
That's why it's fun when it's spontaneous. I was like, it's good. You just feel like asking questions. Hi, if you enjoyed this little conversation on 24 International, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Bye.
This is 24 International.